Right back on their ass, yo. They done made me mad, I've been keeping calm, constantly keep making cash, yo. I've been getting bag after bag after bag, yo. Presidential shit, I wrap my Maybach mad black, yo.
What's up, it's Marty V and I'm back with another video. And today we're gonna go over just some basic shit for beginners, for supply and demand scalpers. I'm gonna look at opposing zones. So let's go to the charts. Alright, so we're on the charts, and the thing about opposing zones, especially for beginners, you know, once you learn supply and demand setups, we're just entering every single time price taps our zone. So I'm just trying to open up eyes to new beginners to be aware of where they're setting their take profits, and especially if they're getting greedy and trying to go for more. So we're looking at NOS right now, and so I'm just going to show you, for example, a supply zone. So I'm going to wait for a price to drop. Got a gap right here, so I want it to pull back and tap my zone. Doesn't matter to me, you know, the main thing I'm trying to teach about is opposing zones, and you know, not about low probability and high probability. You know, all that comes in after, but the main thing about just being aware where you're taking your, you know, your profit. So price tap. So at this point, I'm gonna wait for the break of the candle to get my entry. So this will be my entry right here. So what I want to do is, of course, scroll to my left, look to my left, you're looking for three things mainly. You're looking for a gaps, like this huge gap right here that needs to be finished filling, liquidity, this liquidity area right here, and in general, we're gonna look at those right now. So all right, so this is a small indecisive candle right here, so I'm just gonna draw it down, make this my target, meaning that I want this to be my take profit area, because, and I'm getting out right there because of this bearish candle right here. This candle to me could trigger, it's an opposing zone, it could trigger demand. So if I was to hang on to this and let's hold it, and if it goes against me, now I'm in drawdown, and then I'm in break even, and then if I'm hanging on too long, I'm stopped out. So there's, you know, it's a good chunk of profits lost. So let's see what happens with this. All right, so I'm gonna draw a demand right here. All right, let's let this trade play out. Boom, take profit instantly. So let's see if it breaks this. Let's see if it breaks this zone. All right, tapped, pushing down. Oh, we got a rejection. All right, now it's starting to reverse. Okay, so if you look at this from the demand zone, it tapped my zone. So technically, this would be the break of the candle. So I'm going to delete this short tool right quick to show you the other end. This is an opposing zone. So it broke the candle. So let's see what happens. All right, we're going up. So that's what I mean. It's like we're, you know, it went against us. It started respecting this demand. Now you're in drawdown, and if you don't close out, you potentially get tapped. You know, I'm sorry, tapped. I'm thinking MMA, but you get stopped out. So that's what I mean by opposing zones. We need to be, as traders, as you know, especially supply and demand scalpers, aware of where our take profits at. You know, it's different if we're on a higher time frame. You know, and you see the exit for your setup, then it's, you know, it's kind of like sitting in 5 o'clock traffic for higher time frames, because you know it's going to eventually push to, potentially it's going to push through. But in this case, with lower time frames, you're trying to preserve your capital and, you know, not just give it away. So this is one example. The other example, let's see, I got a supply right here. So just by even not really looking at this, besides setting up my supply zone, I would know that my exit would be right here, because of this is, you know, to me a demand trigger. So let's see what happens. Book structure, push it down. It tapped immediately, so it's tapping its zone. So I'm gonna set my short tool, and I would set my TP right here. Even if it's just a quick scalp, I will set it right there, because this could be a demand zone that could be respected and push back up, you know, and put me in drawdown or stop me out, you know, either one. So let's see what happens. Prices push it down. All right, it tapped, but now you're getting a strong rejection right here. You see a rejection wick. So all right, let's draw the demand. Now what I'm gonna do, right, I'm gonna delete my short tool and just to see what happens with this plays out. See, that's going against me. So if I was still in that supply setup, now I'd be in drawdown. It's back in my zone, so it's break even right here, or you just hanging on with your life, you're getting stopped out. Still pushing up. So that's what I mean by opposing zone. I entered from a supply zone, and this demand zone is opposing me. So you just need to be aware where you're entering and exiting, you know, your trades. You gotta, you know, look ahead. You know, it's like you're in a dark highway. You got your brights on. You're seeing what, you know, obstacles are ahead. And for me, I took this supply, even though I wanted more than what it gave me. And this bearish candle triggered a demand zone that went against me. So technically, I would have got out right here. This would be my take profit. Pretty much my take profits in general, the way I scalp, it's at the beginning, you know, it's where a supply or demand zone would begin. That way it keeps me out of a drawdown. So that's one example. I mean, it's another example, I'm sorry. And that's the thing about these, you know, when price starts to go against your setup as far as supply and demand, especially in the lower time frames, it could be several factors. And one would be price reacting to another time frame. You know, it could be, if this can go against me, if they say this bearish candle wasn't here and I'm on the 5 minute, because I generally trade on the 5 minute, but it could be a demand zone or something on the 3 minute or the 15 minute or even the 1 minute to push your price against you. So just be more, just build up on your chart awareness. You know, if price is going against you on a clean setup and you know that it's not reacting to news, you know, just check the other time frames nearby, the 1 minute, the 3 minute, the 15, the 30. You know, it's a good possibility that price may have tapped and respected one of those zones, which is pushing price the other way and against your setup. So let's go to the last example in this demand right here. So let's see what happens. Goes up, down, boom, it tapped my zone. All right, so see if it respects it. It's playing around. Went to the bottom of the zone. Now it's back up. So I love to just, if I'm taking a setup, I like to, you know, enter with a first candle, tap my zone. That's just me specifically. You know, I feel more confident about my setups that way, but this is where I would enter. And my take profit, I'm looking to my left. I'm looking to my left. You know, they got these wicks, you know, that's liquidity. That's all good. But I'm looking at this bullish candle right here because this could trigger a supply zone. So I'm going to draw my supply. So damn it. All right, so let's see what happens. This would be my TP right here. This is what I would get out at. So let's see what happens. All right. Price is playing around. All right, we're up. I'm in profit. Boom. All right, price has tapped the supply area. Technically, this is my TP. It would have been at 1.36967. I would have closed out and profit, the winning trade. But if I'd have got greedy and went for this liquidity, the chances are I may have won or failed. But let's just see. I'm gonna delete this. Let's just see what happens. Short tool. It's going against me. Boom. Look at there. I'd have been out of there if I was still hanging on to this demand. That's why I say just be aware of your opposing zones. I took this demand. It's not a pretty demand, but just showing the example of where I was getting out at. I got out right at where a supply zone could be triggered thanks to this bullish candle. And that's pretty much what happened. So this would have been good for a quick 1-to-1, supply against me. So that's what I'm saying, guys. You supply and demand scalpers out there, just look to your left more. Look for liquidity or gap, or of course bearish or bullish candle that can trigger a potential supply or demand zone, and that would be your exit out of your trade without suffering from a lot of drawdown and price going to getting stopped out and so forth, or break even. Because at the end of the day, we all want to win. We want to win our motherfucking setup. So this is just a little quick video, guys, and got more to come. Been pretty busy this week with work and everything, but I'm just hoping this helps some beginners out there. For all you experienced shooters, you already know this, but I'm all about helping beginners that struggled in areas that I struggled with. So until next time, guys, that's all for now, and I'll be back with another one next time.